Paramahamsa Parivraja Kacharya Ashtatara Shata Shishimat, His Divine Grace Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 7th chapter, the son of Drona punished, text number 6. Anartopa Shamam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvamsh Chakre Satvata Samhitam Anartopa Shamam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvamsh Chakre Satvata Samhitam Narto Pashamam Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvam Chakre Satvata Samhitam Anartho Pashamam Sakshad Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvamsh Chakre Satvata Samhitam Anartho Pashamam Sakshad Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvamsh Satvata Samhitam Anartho Pashamam Sakshad Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvam Mataji's Anartho Pashamam Sakshad Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvamsh Chakre Satvata Samhitam Anartho Pashamam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvamsh Chakre Sarvata Sarvitam Anartam. Things which are superfluous. Upashamam, mitigation. Sakshat, directly. Bhakti Yogam, the linking process of devotional service. Adokshaje, unto the transcendence. Lokasya, of the general mass of man. Ajanataha, those who are unaware of. Vidvan, the supremely learned. Chakra, compiled. Satvata, in relation with the Supreme Truth. Samhitam, Vedic literature. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this, and therefore the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature, which is in relation to the Supreme Truth. Purport. Srila Vyasadeva saw the all-perfect personality of Godhead. This statement suggests that the complete unit of the personality of Godhead includes his parts and parcels. He saw, therefore, his different energies, namely the internal energy, the marginal energy, and the external energy. He also saw his different plenary portions and parts of the plenary portions, namely his different incarnations also, and he specifically observed the unwanted miseries of the conditioned souls who are bewildered by the external energy. And at last, he saw the remedial measure for the conditioned souls, namely the process of devotional service. It is a great transcendental science and begins with the process of hearing and chanting the name, for aim, glory, etc. of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Revival of the dormant affection of or love of Godhead does not depend on the mechanical system of hearing and chanting, but it solely and wholly depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. When the Lord is fully satisfied with the sincere efforts of the devotee, he may endow him with his loving transcendental service. But even with the prescribed forms of hearing and chanting, there is at once mitigation of the superfluous and unwanted miseries of material existence. Such mitigation of material affection does not wait for the development of transcendental knowledge. Rather, knowledge is dependent on devotional service for the ultimate realization of the Supreme Truth. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladananda Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharina Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Adesh Shatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. There's many ideas in the purport. Small purport, many ideas. We'll just detail a few. One is about the three energies, internal, marginal, and the living being, who is internal, external, and marginal, the living being. And the point is, we talked about it on Sunday, that we are never independent. Never. You can just choose who you want to be dependent on. So there was, I think it was actually on 4th of July, this Independence Day in America, Srila Prabhupada. I don't know if it was. Srila Prabhupada says that we are putting forward our declaration of dependence on Krishna. Americans want to have this declaration of we are independent, and we as devotees we have the declaration of dependence. We are dependent on Krishna. So you can choose in which kind of Maya you are. Interesting also, Mother Yashoda is also in Maya. She has no idea that Krishna is God. Devaki, she knows that she's God, so she's a bit respectful. And Mother Yashoda, as soon as they there's this lila with Krishna eating dirt, Mother, and he sees all the universes in his mouth, and she's like a bit confused. It's like, okay, Krishna is playing some trick, but okay, you're okay this time, but don't eat dirt anymore. So she's in Maya. She cannot understand by Krishna's mercy. She cannot understand that Krishna is God, because this would be an impediment to the to the loving relation they have. No, otherwise, if he's God, it's like a bit, okay, a bit cautious. So this is not a state that we should imitate. This, for example, when we, even in ISKCON, even if you worship Radha Krishna, we worship them in Lakshmi Narayan mood. We're not best buddies with Krishna. Hey, bro, what's up? No, Hare Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Shrimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada never liked this Radhe Radhe and Jai Radhe and also this comes also from Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. Oh, Shrimati Radharani, we're here, they are there. Cannot. So there's this Raganuga trend in around among the devotees. We're on the spontaneous platform. We can't. Sometimes devotees cannot come for the morning program. They can't wake up in the morning. They cannot come for Mangalarti. They barely chant their rounds, but they are on the Raganuga platform. Okay. So we should be very cautious about approaching this. This is a side dish. Next idea, which is very interesting, is that Srila Prabhupada says that devotional service is not a mechanical process. It's very interesting. It's not karma kanda. There's this philosophy, it's called karma mimamsa. So you do something and Krishna is whoever, if there is some Krishna, there's whoever is there, they are obliged to. Actually, Krishna himself, he preaches this to Nanda Maharaj on this Govardhan puja. Yeah, if there's an Indra, whoever is there, if you do our duties, then he has to give rain. Don't worry about it. You don't need to make a yagya. So it's not like that. This the point Prabhupada made here is that Krishna gives the results. So you can do something, we will come back to this. And you might get some results, you might not. And there's an interesting, what is Krishna expecting? What does he need? Thank you. What's the important factor? That we chant Hare Krishna. Yes, but in what does he actually need? And actually, Krishna expects devotion. He expects loving devotion. He says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Mama Bijanati, he says, one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. So you can impress Krishna only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So Krishna is not so impressed. Oh, I woke up at 3 o'clock. Good. Very good. That's nice, but it's not mechanical. It's not, okay, it's not, it is Lord Chaitanya's army, but not from this perspective. Okay, I woke up at 3 o'clock, I chanted my rounds before Mangala, I do this, I'm in time for... So Krishna has to give. No. Depends how I do these things. When I read this, I was remembering this, in Harinama Chintamani, Haridas Thakur says that in the beginning, he says, the holy name is Chintamani, the object that gives everything one desires. To the materialist, it gives dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, and to the non-fruitive devotees, it gives pure, unalloyed love of Krishna. And probably you can detail to different types of people what the holy name gives. Probably to the Mayavadis, the holy name gives impersonal Brahman liberation, and to those, I don't know if it works that way, probably not. To the Vikarmis, they give, it can give the killing the neighbors. No, I'm just joking. I don't know if that works like that. So the point is that the action is important. You're chanting Hare Krishna, of course, yes. But also it's important in what mood, what is your purpose in chanting Hare Krishna. Because different people do so-called devotional service for different reasons. So it's good to check also for ourselves. What is my motivation? Yes, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm coming for the morning program, I'm doing some service, but what do I want to achieve? So there's different types of consciousness. Of course, there's the Vikarmi, as I said before. For the Vikarmi, the first rule is there are no rules. Who cares? You just beg, borrow, and steal, and somehow get key. We can say, oh, this kind of person cannot do devotional service. Yeah, they can do. Of course, why not? We can look in our lives. We'll come back to this. For example, you have, I think Diti. I always mix them, but probably this Diti because it's no mother of the demons who are Daityas. So Diti is it's in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Diti is serving Kashyapa Muni very nicely. So nicely, very nice. Yeah, okay, Prabhu, what you need? Okay, this, everything, perfect. And after some time, Kashyapa Muni is impressed. He says, okay, you are serving me so nicely, so I can give you a benediction. And she says, yeah, oh, nice. Okay, I want a benediction. What benediction do you want? Well, I want to kill all the demigods. So you can say she did somehow some sort of devotional service, no? Some sort, anyway, some spiritual practice she was. But what is her motivation? She wanted to kill all the demigods, which are also Kashyapa Muni's sons. There's his family also. So, of course, Kashyapa Muni tricked her. And he gave her a process to worship Vishnu, and she got purified, and eventually things were nice. But the point is that her motivation was not to please, not the proper one. Externally, she did things nicely. Internally, the motivation was kill my neighbor. Kill them. So we can also have this in our own lives. We'll come back to this. So you can have karmis. Karmis, what do they want? They do some devotional service, and what do they want? Some material benefits. Something. Oh, give me a house, give me a wife, give me a color TV, Om Jai Jagadisha Hari. As Maharaj says. That's a karmi. That's not a devotee. His mentality is not I want to please Krishna. His mentality is I want some material benefits. I'm chanting Hare Krishna, no problem if it's good for business. And there's many cases in this morning I could just remember one, but probably there's so many. Most of the yagyas that they do in Bhagavatam, Krishna comes and says, what do you want? And usually they don't say, I want pure devotional service. They say, Daksha says, I want unlimited sex, the power to do unlimited sex. You have Krishna in front of you. He's there, and Daksha, he even feels this spiritual ecstasy. And Krishna comes and says, what can I do for you? And he says, yeah, unlimited sex. Can you help with this? Yeah, sure, no problem. What? So he's doing devotional service. He's doing these austerities and yagyas and so on. And what's the motivation? The motivation is, I want some material benefits. Okay. Gyanis usually want to have this impersonal liberation. There's cases in the Shastras, and there's even Mayavadis, they chant Hare Krishna. It's Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that if you even in karma and jnana, if there's not a bit of bhakti, it doesn't work. You want to do some sacrifice. That's why in all the sacrifices there's some Vishnu mantras somewhere at the end, you know. So that's why Jnanis also sometimes they chant Hare Krishna. But what is their motivation? Their motivation is I want to become one with Krishna, or I want to merge in the impersonal Brahman. There's this example. There's I think Gopala Bhatta. I don't know, probably. It's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was going towards Jagannath Puri, and he meets this person. And externally, this person, he's a devotee. He's chanting all the time. He serves him so nicely. And they go there and to Jagannath Puri, and he introduces to Lord Chaitanya. Okay, he was helping me, and Lord Chaitanya is like not impressed. He's like, no, I know why he's chanting Hare Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya immediately understood, he's not a devotee. He's chanting Hare Krishna to become liberated. Very nice. Externally, perfect. No. Chanting, serving, always willing to serve the devotees. Perfect. Internally, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj has in this book, I think it's from this book, Journey Home, I think, and he meets this person, and he's always chanting Ram Ram, I think Ram Ram, probably you know better than me, and he's chanting Ram 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 Ram, and Maharaj is somehow impressed. Oh, such a nice devotee, you know. He's such a nice person, always chanting the Lord of Lord Ramachandra. And then one day he discusses with this person, and one day he says, I will tell you a secret. I'm chanting the name of Lord Ram, and one day I will become Ram. So Maharaj is looking at him, and then he's like, and he just backs and he runs somehow. This rascal. So from external perspective, he's a very nice devotee, It's so nice, always chanting the names of Lord Ramachandra, Kirtanya Sadahari. No? Oh, good, perfect. But inside, Jnani, not the proper mentality. Srila Prabhupada gave this example. This is typical mentality of the Jnanis. They were going down up a cliff and a hill somewhere, and they got to the top, and some devotee was helping him, and Srila Prabhupada takes his hand and like in a dramatic way he says, "Go away, I don't need you anymore." So that's the mentality of the Jnani. And then he explained this devotee was what's going on. And then Srila Prabhupada explained, that's the mentality, that's the typical mentality of the Jnani. Krishna is helpful for some time and then go away. Typical is Durga Puja. You caught Durga Puja in Mayapur. I was there for Durga Puja. It's a huge noise. And at the end, they make these nice deities of Durga. Everywhere there's deities of Durga. They worship. And then after the 7 days of Durga Puja, they take the deity and just throw it somewhere. We don't need you anymore. Get lost. See you next year. So that's the general mentality of Mayavadi. You take help from Krishna. This is the Vendras. You take help from Krishna. You take help from some devotees, and after you surpass their level, and then, I don't need you anymore. Get lost. Or you start criticizing them. You never did anything for me, like these children after they become 18 or something, and they become teenagers, and they say, "You never did anything for me." To the parents, the parents are looking like, "What? This guy is a bit wacko." So that's the typical Jnani mentality. You take a guru for some time, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and then after you're like, I don't need you anymore. The Mayavadis actually, they have this idea. They always his I don't know what Swami, former disciple of I don't know who, because he was a disciple, but now he's self-realized and he's not a disciple anymore. He doesn't need the guru anymore. Okay. So, Jnani mentality. And you have Bhakta mentality. The devotees is just there to please. You have a typical case, Prahlad Maharaj. Lord Nisimha comes. He says, I can give you a benediction. And Prahlad Maharaj says, I'm not a businessman. I'm not here for business. I just want to... my duty is to serve you. I just want to serve you. That's all. That's all I want. So that's a devotee. So we can say, we are bhaktas. We're at the Hare Krishna temple. We're chanting Hare Krishna. We're bhaktas. And the point is, really, we can search in our hearts. And we can find, sometimes we can find some other things. Maybe why do we chant Hare Krishna? What is our purpose? What do we want to achieve? And of course, if we're here, probably there's also some purpose to please Krishna to some degree. But there might be also some other things. And it's good to understand this, that, okay, there's some other. And it's not a mechanical process. If you chant for something else, then you get something else. For example, Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he's more or less, apparently, externally, he's on the Karma Kanda platform. He understands. He says to Krishna, look, I know I have a duty. I understand I have a duty. I'm just a bit confused. What's my duty? So this is more or less Karma Kanda. So in the modern society, when we come to the Hare Krishna movement, we're probably not on that platform. That's why what makes Bhagavad Gita hard for people to understand usually. Because they don't understand the Karma Kanda platform. They are usually on this Vikarma platform. So this, when we are in the Hare Krishna movement, this manifests as some authority, some senior devotee comes and tells you something, and the normal reaction of the Hare Krishna devotees, who are you to tell me what to do? Looking at you, huh? Who do you think you are to tell me what to do? So this is Vikarma. Is not following authorities. This is Vikarma. This is Karmi. He is trying to enjoy the material world, but he understands, okay, I will follow the Vedas, and then I will enjoy the material world. I'm looking for material. So he has this idea, okay, I have to follow the Vedas, so he understands Dharma. Okay, I have a duty. What is my duty? Okay, there's some authorities. Okay, he understands. Vikarmi also likes. He likes to associate with the opposite sex. Typical devotee, when they they come to the Hare Krishna movement. There's 10 Prabhus here. There's 2 Matajis here. I don't know if it's 10. And he will come and stay somewhere there. Associated with Matajis and like, hi Mataji, how are you today? Oh, so nice you're cooking. Oh, but Prabhu, you are also, you're serving this prasadam so nicely. Oh, but Mataji, what a nice sari you have. Oh, but Prabhu, but your dhoti also is so nice. So that's typical tendency that we have, you know. This is vikarma. We don't understand. There's a difference. There's in the material society, there's no such thing as men and women and so on. It's good to be together. And și Panchatattva ki jai, și Kornitai ki jai. The more we are having close relationship with the opposite sex, that's the success of life in the material world. So that's why there's some Vaishnava culture. Vaishnava culture is not for Indians. It's not for someone else. It's not that, okay, in India you have to apply Vaishnava culture and in the West it doesn't apply. No, there's probably, since we are raised in this horrible society, Vaishnava culture is more important for us than for the Indians. Because in India there's more or less some remnants of the culture, it's not so bad, you know. We were, this Indian devotee was, aspiring devotee was here. And he was doing some things, I was like looking at him, like, he was so cultured, you know. I was looking at him, like, what's happening, you know? He was just sitting there and cleaning his feet because he had to go on the beds, you know, to clean something upstairs. So he's cleaning something upstairs and he's cleaning his feet, you know, first thing, you know, I cannot go with dirty feet on this bed. Like, what? Really? You're gonna do that? Like, yeah, of course. So cultured, you know, like in Indian society, there's still some remnants of this culture. But in the West, you come to the Hare Krishna movement, it's all one, it's all good. So all this vikarma mentality we bring to the Hare Krishna movement. And then we act, okay, we're devotees, but here it's, we have our own idea. So that's why Vaishnava culture is there. For example, we have this mentality that we don't follow any authority in the West. So that if you check Vaishnava culture, the whole thing is about how to understand there's someone superior to you. You take the lamp and you offer it to Srila Prabhupada, and then you have to find the senior devotees. Why? Because, you know, if you give them first, then there's more heat first. No, just to teach us, look, there's a senior devotee, there's someone who is more advanced than you, and he will sometimes tell you what to do. Wow. You dance, you know, dancing, okay, you dance. And you say, okay, I want to dance in my own way, you know, I'm in the zone. And you read Vaishnava culture, yes, you have to dance. First, you never dance with the back to the deities, because you dance for their pleasure. They are the ultimate authority. And also, there's a lead dancer. And there's someone who is leading the dancing, and you dance the way he dances, not the way you want. Come on, Prabhu. Come on, we're just here to have some fun. No, you have... So the whole Vaishnava culture is like that. That you have to understand there's some senior devotees. There's some authority. And they are not authorities, they are eternal authorities. You know, the spiritual master, you go to the spiritual world, You get liberated, you get the spiritual world, and the spiritual master is there, and he will tell you what to do in the spiritual world also. It's not it's not temporary that okay now I'm because this is the mentality that we tend to okay now I don't need you anymore. No, he's eternally your spiritual master. Okay. Anyway. And then association with the opposite sex. Vaishnava culture, that's why we have Prabhu's there and Mataji is here. As Prabhupada said, man is good, woman is good, men and women are bad. Together they're bad. Because there's always these tendencies. We were raised in this Western society. There's always this jiggling and joking between women and men. Hey, how are you, Prabhupada? Mataji, so nice. And this is subtle sex, actually. And this is contaminating everything, If this mentality is there, then just your mind is disturbed. You're always associating with the opposite sex. Always, I'll just I'll just read this text. This is a text from Bhagavatam, so you don't say that it's my ideas. And Srila Prabhupada's purport. The text says, woman is compared to fire and man is compared to a butter pot. Therefore, a man should avoid associating even with his own daughter in a secluded place. Even with his own daughter. Lord Brahma also, he liked his daughter. Similarly, he should also avoid association with other women. One should associate with women only for important business and not otherwise. So that's why Vaishnava culture is like, yeah, okay, there's the rule of 3, and there's you associate for service. If you have service, okay, professionally, pampa, and after service, thank you, goodbye. Purport, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Says, if a butter pot and fire are kept together, the butter within the pot will certainly melt. It doesn't say that the Romanian butter will melt, but the Slovenian butter will not melt because it's Slovenian butter. And the German butter is quality, this doesn't melt. No, it says the butter will melt. Woman is compared to fire and the man is compared to a butter pot. However advanced one may be in restraining the senses, it is almost impossible for a man to keep himself controlled in the presence of a woman. These people who think, I'm beyond, as Maharaj gives the example of Osho. He was this brahmachari. And he put in the newspaper that he's challenging any woman to make him fall down. Tough luck. So this professional Mataji came, and in the morning he wrote this article, Liberation Through Sex. Finished. His brahmachari life was finished. So Srila Prabhupada says, however advanced one may be in restraining the senses, it is almost impossible for a man to keep himself controlled in the presence of a woman, even if she is his own daughter, mother, or sister. Indeed, his mind is agitated even if one is in the renounced order of life. It's not that you take sannyas and then you're not attracted anymore. Therefore, Vedic civilization carefully restricts mingling between men and women. If one cannot understand, this is heavy, but it's Prabhupada. If one cannot understand the basic principle of restraining association between man and woman, he is to be considered an animal. That is the purport of this verse. Anyway, Prabhupada says. So the point is that for us who are coming from this Western culture, Vaishnava culture is also important to understand. There's Mataji Prema Manjari said we need a training for grihastas. There's a few things that grihastas need to learn. They have to make money, they have to give charity, and so on. And because we have training for brahmachari, maybe. And I was thinking, yeah, we need a training for brahmacharya, whatever, some sort of brahmachari. And the training for brahmachari is two things. Maybe a bit more, but two main things. How to follow authority and how to associate with the opposite sex. Of course, you have to study the Shastra, you have to understand Dharma, you have to understand, be regulated, be very dutiful. They all come in this package. But this is the main thing that a brahmachari learns. And after, as they say, the good brahmacharis become good grihastas. Because of this brahmachari, when he becomes a grihasta, he keeps these two. Of course, he has to understand these things which are specific to the grihasta ashram, of course, but he's grihasta brahmachari. So he has to continue to learn how to follow authority. It's not the grihasta, is, I'm a grihasta. Now, I was dependent on Krishna, and now I'm independent. No problem. And how to associate with the opposite sex. And this is also important for grihastas, because maybe because of that we have in ISKCON, we have the divorce rate in ISKCON is higher than the Karmi divorce rate. So, anyway. Okay, that's just a few points. The main point is that we chant Hare Krishna, but it's important to understand in which mentality we should chant Hare Krishna. And for condition, if we are conditioned, then it's good to follow Vaishnava culture. We have Ramananda Raya, who is baiting these naked Matajis, and he's not affected. So if you're on that level, it's no problem. You probably don't have to follow Vaishnava culture. But if you're not on that level, it's good to follow. And even if you're on that level, it's good to follow, to give an example to others. Okay, I'll stop here. Hope I will not get killed. The question of the day. Okay, wait. We'll let Audaria Lila Mataji first.
I let her kill you first.
Okay.
Okay, I will translate after. Ați menționat la început de procesul acesta mecanic în care noi ne aflăm la un moment dat, sau o parte din noi. La început avem mila asta specială când ne asociem cu devotații și suntem captivați cumva sincer de a face servicii și de a ne face sadhana, dar după o anumită perioadă de timp cumva, poate nu conștient, intrăm în partea asta mecanică și când realizăm lucrul acesta și cum să facem să modificăm ceva astfel încât să nu continuăm la lung să facem sadhana sau serviciu devoțional în mod mecanic.
Yeah, I will translate more or less, or paraphrase. The point is that many devotees come to the Hare Krishna movement, and they are very enthusiastic, and they are like in a bubble, and they are like, wow, this is so nice, and they get some initial mercy, and then after some time they are like not so enthusiastic anymore, and they become maybe mechanical, maybe something like that. Well, it's normal. It happens to everyone. It's described in Madhurya Kadambini. Vishwana Chakravarti Thakur says this, and how to not be mechanical also. He says, first stage in Bhajana Kriya, so you have Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and then Bhajana Kriya, you start devotional service. And first stage of Bhajana Kriya is called Utsahamayi, beginner's enthusiasm. So it's official, it's there in Madhurya Kadambini. And this is like everyone, it's all, good. Life is good, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then comes next stage, which is called Ganatarala. It's called Tik-Tin. Sometimes you're like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then, so then, oh my God, again Hare Krishna. So that's normal. And then there's different stages. There's purification. And there comes Vishaya Sangara, then also this ideas of sense gratification that were not there anymore. You know, in the initial stage, they're not interested in, I just want Krishna, I want to be a pure devotee. And then after some time, you're like, yeah, I want Krishna, but, you know, I also want this. This is one stage, and then Vishaya Sangara, Vyuda Vikalpa. This means speculation. Should I go to Vrindavan, or should I become a grihasta, or should I become a sannyasi, or should I become, I don't know, and should I live in this temple, or should I live, it's called excessive speculation. You just speculate. Should I be in this position? You don't chant Hare Krishna, you just speculate. And then Nyama Akshama, this with vows, I don't know, probably. Nyama Akshama, it's called. You make vows, and you always, chant, I will chant 16 rounds, and then you chant 8, 4, 2, and then you're like, again, no, 16. And these are stages through which we pass, and then you get to Taranga Rangini, which is like, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, life is good. Prasadam is good. Nice people. They're a bit strange sometimes, but anyway, they're nice. Generally, they are nice in the temple, and you don't. So this is normal process. And one thing that helps get through this is, in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada also says at the end of the purport that you don't need knowledge, but eventually you need knowledge. You need to read all Prabhupada's books. You need to understand the philosophy very well, because you understand what are you doing. You know, without reading Prabhupada's books, without understanding the philosophy, you'll not understand. And Srila Prabhupada, I was listening to some classes, and he said in one class, based on these 4 categories of pious men, he says that Artha and Artharthi, those who are in the movement because they are suffering, and those who are in the come to Krishna consciousness when looking for some material benefits, they will leave at some point, because they as soon as there's some problem, they were not suffering for some time, and then they start suffering, and they're like, okay, this Krishna consciousness doesn't work, or they make some money, or they don't make some money. So it depends on some external stuff. And Srila Prabhupada says that Jnani and Jigyasu, somehow, he includes Jigyasu, that they will stay, they don't leave. Because they understand, okay, this is the purpose, so this is very important that you cultivate knowledge. This also Krishna, after this verse, he says, these 4 are very nice, but the one who is in knowledge is better. So you have to, one thing is you have to cultivate knowledge, to understand what am I doing here, what I should be doing. Okay, I have these anarthas, no problem, they are anarthas. So this is one thing. And second thing is association of devotees who have this realization. And there's always, it's an effort. It's called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Vaidhi means, Sadhana Bhakti means sometimes you feel, and sometimes you feel like killing yourself. No, I'm overdoing it. But the the point is, it's normal that sometimes you feel that you want to do it, and sometimes you don't feel like doing it. So, what to do? You still do it. So, and the water that this is compared with the devotional plant, and the water is always devotee association. You have to find these devotees who are the more advanced, the better, who can inspire you and who can say, yeah, you're here, you know, and there's always this, but there's always this tendency to go down and to mechanical, and you just always an effort to understand, what am I doing here? Why am I doing? Why am I in this movement? Or maybe I came, like Dhruva Maharaj, I came for some stupid things, maybe, but now I can revise my, why should I be here? Oh, I should be here. The only thing which will satisfy is pure devotional service. Oh yeah, I don't know. That's just some things. Okay, one.
No, it's easy, don't worry.
Okay.
But I want to say something first. To me, it's quite appalling that being clean is considered Vaishnava culture and not good manners. So it should have nothing to do with Vaishnava culture. It should have something to do with education.
Yeah.
Anyway, the question is, because you said that those who come for material benefits because they suffer or they want something, not the Gyanis, they will leave at some point because they either find suffering here also or they get the benefit and then they leave.
Maybe.
The question is then recommended to give the benefits? So maybe they say, okay, I get the benefits, I continue, or it's recommended not to give the benefits at all?
Krishna has different, as Maharaj says, different folks, different strokes. he has different, he's very expert, you know, and so it really depends on the people. For the main point is sometimes Krishna will give some material benefits to increase the faith, and sometimes he will not give. You know, and, many times to beginners, they. I know Mataji. She was a beginner. Just started chanting, and she found some 10 euros on the street or something. You know, she found just on the floor. And she thought, wow, that's so nice, you know, and this helped her. No, just it happens. So this helped her. This increased her faith, you know, like she's like, wow, this Krishna consciousness really works. Okay, I'll chant more. So in some way, in other ways, sometimes we have other cases. I know one devotee. He was here. He came for the Be a Monk challenge. He was participating. He just started chanting, and he found he had a bad boss, this bad job, something, and he found the job of his life. So Krishna was like, okay, if this increases your faith, good. Sometimes he gives, and sometimes Krishna is very cautious, you know. If these material benefits will make you forget him, then he will not give. So I don't know. I don't have an example. Usually, if you're not so advanced, he will give. If you're a bit more advanced, he will not give. Sorry.
What about the authorities to give more devotees to continue? Is that recommended or not? Like devotees come, and then if they see, okay, I'm not promoted, I'm not initiated, I'm not given service to do, I don't know what important service I want, then I will leave because they don't like me here. So should we give this? Not me, because I'm not authority.
You're not, huh?
I'm not authority.
But you're planning to open a temple, so you want to know. No, I'm just joking.
Is it recommended to give these motivations or not?
Yeah, I mean, as Krishna said, sometimes it's useful to take the devotees out for a pizza, you know, to have a.
Are you inviting us all?
to have a pizza party sometimes, you know, like just. And sometimes it's also recommended to say, okay, we want to teach you this pure devotional service, and you should serve if there's pizza or there's no pizza. So anyway, we have good food in the temple, so it's not it's not that you need the pizza, you know, exactly. So it depends on the level of the devotee, and also it depends on the the position of the devotee. If you're in the temple, you learn some things. If you're aspiring devotees, you learn something, and it's always according to, you know, it's not one size fits all. For some, but generally you should have a plan to teach pure devotional service. If you do too many things that are in this karma kanda and you're enforcing this karma kanda mood, that's not good. But I mean, sometimes this also needs to be there. Because the point is that sense gratification should go down with time, but you cannot force it down. It has to come somehow natural. So you cannot force someone to accept a sense gratification level, very advanced sense gratification level, mechanically. Like, okay, you're a Hare Krišna, you came here, you are on that level of sense gratification, you have to be here from tomorrow. You know, chant more, and then gradually get that taste. And also this means that you should be careful to position devotees properly. If his expectation of sense gratification is here, maybe he shouldn't be in the temple, live in the temple, you know. Because, I mean, in the temple there's a certain, you want to enforce a certain standard, a certain level of renunciation, a certain of, you know, if you want to, I don't know, go swimming every day, maybe this is not a place to go swimming every day. So, yeah, I don't know. It's artistic as far as I understand. It's not, but we should not, we should have a plan to gradually get to the actual point, and that's very important. And we should not excessively promote karma kanda style. You know, like you do this service, I will do this. You can do it for some time. You do some service, you get some extra prasad, some fancy prasadam, something. But with time, you have to educate and you say, look, you know, to reach this bhakti yoga, and Krishna is giving you the opportunity, and you should actually pay for the opportunity to do some devotional service. No, just joking, but you should be very grateful that you have the opportunity. It's not sometimes devotees have this idea that I'm helping Krishna. You know, I'm helping the temple somehow. And so they owe me something, you know. I did something for you, pizza. You know. If there's no pizza, then next time when there's this, not a good mentality. So we shouldn't over-promote it.
Yeah, but how do you then avoid exploitation?
Exploitation?
Yes.
Oh. That's, you know... That's really beda tattva. No, that's very complicated. You know, like the point is how do you? I mean, the point there is for devotees, do you obey authority? What does it mean that you follow authority? So that's very complicated, because it's not that simple that whatever someone who is in a position of authority says you have to do. So that's one extreme, that you do whatever. No, you should have some brain, and you should understand, okay, this person in the position of authority, is he actually saying what Prabhupada is saying and so on, is in the same mood, is he actually doing the... And the other extreme, which we are more inclined to the other extreme in the West, or maybe sometimes we are also in that extreme. The other extreme is like, I don't follow any authority. And even if the authority is saying the same thing as Prabhupada, like, no, who are you to tell me what to do? So this is the other extreme. And you have to find a middle, and only through education. You have to understand very well the philosophy. You have to understand very well what's coming from Shri Guru Parampara and what's not coming. And as His Holiness Bhaktiananda Tirtha Maharaj said, there's no shortcut for becoming a mature devotee. There's no shortcuts. You have to understand who's an authority and how to deal with different types of authorities. Respectfully try to follow, and at the same time be aware that maybe they themselves don't follow, and then you don't need to follow so strictly. So I don't know. So that's so all this, is in the same, probably in that category. It's complicated. That's okay. Rajasundari Mataji is happy, then it's time for us. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.